follow. Sorry, I think I just missed the having a screen up where the alert could pop up, but thank you for the follow. We're top in 1992. Thanks for stopping by. I'm a little far away from a mic. Let me pull it up. Oh, hi, Kitty. My cat was snuggling pre-stream, and she got up just in time, thankfully, so I can sit up and be properly seated. But welcome to stream. I don't know how many opportunities I'm gonna have before the end of the year to stream again this year. But I have a couple ideas of stuff I want to do. I think I'm gonna be finally finishing up Ghost Trick tomorrow with my friend Jade. But today I wanted to play some Pokemon, and I was gonna play earlier today, but I went to bed at midnight and woke up at 2 a.m. Don't know why. I couldn't get back to sleep, so I got up and made food and did some job applications and thought, oh, when I'm all done with that, I'll stream. And then I finished up with the job apps and I got very tired, so I laid down and passed out until like 3. And watched some videos. And now we're here. And I've been wanting to do the stream for a hot minute now. I saw Alpharad do this challenge on his channel multiple times. But I don't think he's ever done anything in Shield. And a little bit of context. I played Pokemon Shield. I never played the DLCs. I didn't do the post game. I just did the main game. And I really liked the actual, like, gym challenge, like, how that was handled. I really liked that aspect of Shield. Didn't like the story at all, as most people didn't like the story for very good reason. But one of the unique things about my playthrough of Pokemon Shield, and I think this is probably unique for most people playing just a Pokemon game, especially for the first time, I boxed my starter. It wasn't initially done. I didn't do it immediately. Also, my outline looks weird. I'm going to turn it off right now. I had to do a different thing today with my background, so I had to change some stuff. Let me adjust this. I see a message. I'll respond to it in a moment. I just need to adjust this outline. It's fine. Hello, I was brought here by Tyler's Discord. Also, your thing you said about discussing yummy meals. I had some ramen. I love cooking and discussing food. I'm playing Shield. Don't impress me quite right now. Ooh, the ramen sounds good. I've heard about curry ramen before. I've never made it myself, but it's been something I've thought about doing. Though I guess I've made it kind of before on, like, I had Japanese curry that I had made, and I had ramen noodles, and I just smooshed them together leftovers-wise. I've never made curry ramen, like, as the dish intended. I should at some point, though. Played Shield, not Press. Yeah, the story's bad. The story's awful in Shield. Literally, if they scrapped the story aspect, like... That reminds me, I do need to turn off the cutscenes in my game. I don't know if I'll play enough of this file to get to the point where the big cutscenes happen. It's so bad. Like, they had a story they wanted to tell. I don't know where things went wrong, but it's just so bad. And it's so disjointed. I think that's a big problem too, is the narrative presented in the game doesn't fit with the mechanic of it. Like, I have a weirdly soft place in my heart for Pokemon Shield, Sword and Shield, just the collective game. My version is Shield, but the way the gym challenge is presented is weirdly nostalgic for me, because I grew up in a very sports-orientated family, and I did a lot of sports tournaments growing up. And the way the gym challenge is presented reminds me a lot of a more glamorized version of, like, sports tournaments that I was in when I was younger. But it really encapsulates this kind of like picturesque, fantastical version of kind of what I would have loved from sports tournaments. Like this idea, because you're interacting with all these other kids about your same age, you're all doing the same things. It was a really fun kind of like, what's the right word for it? It's a really fun recontextualization of the gym challenge in Pokemon that I felt really refreshing. And then you have this really unnecessary narrative tacked alongside it of like, oh, this like weird thing happened in the past. Oh, a great tragedy befell a really long time ago, and some random capitalist wants to do it again. It doesn't fit. I don't know what discussions were had that led to the narrative being presented as it was, but I feel like there should have been a couple more meetings to help make things fit better, because they really don't. Reminds me more of English style sports. Yeah, that makes sense. Uh, I grew up in very American style sports. Uh, I From what I understand, the way like the stadium and everything is set up is probably more geared towards things like soccer, which is one of the few sports I really didn't have too much experience with outside of like Parks and Rec when I was really young. Uh, but it's interesting. They try to combine like a sports anime with, I don't even know what to call the narrative in the game, because it's just so it's so bad. I played so many sports. Yeah, I just don't know. And then you have the Scarlet and Violet story immediately following this narrative, and it really showcased how strong of a story that Game Freak can tell. Like I wish that they combined the story and the strength of that story from Scarlet and Violet with the way that the gym challenge is presented in Scarlet and Violet, because not Scarlet and Violet, in Sword and Shield, because I appreciate the experimentation with the open world aspect of Scarlet and Violet, and I do like it more than like the static paths of the traditional Pokemon games. I do like the open world nature of it, but I don't think that the way that Game Freak executed it in Scarlet and Violet is really the way to go. It just feels a bit too, just kind of empty, and that's probably a problem with more the way the graphics are handled. And like, we don't need to rehash the conversation with the graphical issues and the bug issues with Scarlet and Violet. That conversation has happened so many times, and I don't really need to continue that conversation. Uh, but I hit a button. Go away button. Uh, but yeah, I have a very soft spot in my heart for Shield, and it is not for the story. I still remember the very first time I played through, because I had known about Scarlet and Violet. I'd been, not Scarlet and Violet, of Sword and Shield. I was aware of it. I had heard grievances, but I didn't really hear any details of those grievances. And I largely went into that game blind, despite despite it being out for 2 years. So I'd been largely spoiled free. So color me surprised when there was an entire cutscene that was just still images and text on a screen that had like a vibe similar to like visual novels between Rose and Leon that didn't make any sense. And I will still I felt so much rage during the part where like it was like Leon goes missing and you have to run around and find people and like, battle up the tower, and then it ultimately led to nothing. Like you do all this work to get into the tower, to get to the top, and you get there and the conversation between Leon and Rose had ended. Like they were padding for time for no reason. There was no point. It was so pointless. Like, say what you want about Team Yell and them really kind of being like a miss in terms of an evil team. I liked them. I evil teams, quote unquote, in Pokemon have become so tame over the years, and they fill a different function within the Pokemon narrative. You start with Team Rocket, who are the bad guys, and then we really hit a peak with like Black and White and X and Y, where they are like properly evil people. Dear hello! Hello! Hello. We're talking about Pokemon. And specifically dunking on this Sword and Shield story. But, like, the evil teams, quote unquote, people complain about them being like, oh, they're not, like, evil anymore. And, yeah, I think that's less of a criticism, more just a fact. They're not evil anymore. They don't fill the same role within the narrative that, like, Galactic or Rocket or whatever the evil team was called in Black and White, because I never played that game. They don't fill that same role anymore. They have different functions. And Team Yell, they weren't evil. They were just very enthusiastically supporting their girl, and I love them. I love that for them. And then you have like Team Star in Scarlet and Violet, and I feel like narrative-wise, I think Team Star was the weakestly handled. Like, I think there's so many ways that narrative could have been improved. But they're so, like... I wanted the Team Star narrative to be better. I think the best part of it, in my opinion, was Clive. Was his name Clive? Whatever the definitely not the president of the school, whatever his name was. That was my favorite part of that. And I wanted, especially with the direction that Scarlet and Violet goes in, and I don't know how far into the game you are, Rubbertop, so I won't spoil as much as I can. I just wanted there to be more, I think, better. I don't know. I would have to sit down and really think about the way that Team Stars handled and presented to be able to give a better perspective on what I would want from it. But I think we get to, in the DLC coming up, I don't know if it's coming out tomorrow night or if it's gonna be Thursday morning when it comes out. I wanted there to be more. I think we get to talk to the Team Star people more in the DLC that's coming out, but I just wanted there to be more. I wanted Team Star people to be in the world more, as opposed to being segmented to their little bases. And that is a sad thing, too, with the way that Scarlet and Violet, because you get to choose if you do trainer battles, as much as that's nice to not be forced into them, you do miss, like, the world becomes lonely. Because, like, I would rarely choose to do a trainer battle, but it makes the world feel a lot more empty because you're interacting with people far less. Like, I don't know if this would have been better, but I think it would have been interesting if trainers in the world, as opposed to being someone you had to talk to initiate battle, if they maybe had a short radius that you could move around, but you could maybe run into on accident, I think could have been interesting. And I don't know if they played around with that or not, but I think that would have been cool if they did that. Just to shake things up. I don't know. But I'm ranting about things that I don't have any control over. So let me get over to the game. I don't know if my Switch is turned off at this point, but it may have. Okay. Alright. Let's get to video game. I did, off of stream, I ran through the first bit of the game to get to where you actually get the Pokemon, because it takes so much time to get through this game. Also, when we get into it, do let me know how my audio is. I've had issues recently with things being louder than I expected. Um, so do let me know if I need to adjust anything. Uh, louder or quiet, it's a very easy fix on my end. I think I loaded into the wrong game. I think I loaded into my main game. We're gonna find out real fast. Yep, this is my. This is the game that I have completed. Who do I have in my party currently? I don't understand this team that I have. Two of these Pokemon were not on my main team. I do not remember them. Sky, Noise, Wagahai, and Gallo. Did I really name you Gallo? I have no memory of that. I guess. I don't remember that. I have like some memories of my main game, and then I have like blank patches. Wagahai was the only name for my Pokemon team that I remembered. Everything else was a blur. But this should be the proper one. And the whole crux of this mission, this game that I'm doing, is I'm only using Scorbunny because when I played through Shield the first time, and the only time I have played, I boxed my starter pretty soon because I wasn't happy with how the evolutions came out. And I was using Scorbunny because that was the only final evolution that I really enjoyed at all. And I think I evolved it. I don't know if I got it to its third evolution stage, but I realized that I'm gonna move my model a little bit. But I realized that I was using it purely out of obligation. I wasn't using it because I wanted to use it. I was using it because it was your starter, and I felt like I needed to use it. And I was like, you know what? No. I don't have to use it. I can do what I want. I can box it and use other Pokemon I want to use. And so I didn't really use it on my team, which hurt later on when Rose had Steel-type Pokemon. My teams are never prepared for Steel-type Pokemon. It's always a weak spot that I have, and I don't know why. But I thought it would be interesting to do a Scorbunny run because I didn't use my starter. And this would be a fun way to kind of not really fix that, but kind of be able to better appreciate Scorbunny. It's going to be very easy initially because that first gym is grass. It's going to suck hard with the second gym because I will not have really any means to stop super effective attacks, but we'll find out. But yes, we will be picking Scorbunny, the little bunny boy, and I won't be evolving it. That's the big thing too, is I won't be evolving him at all. So we're gonna be stuck with a first stage starter for the whole game, which will make it hard. And I will name. Oh, we got a female one. All right. I forget how breeding works in this game. But that's very. I think that's a 10% chance. But I will name it after my. Back. Name it after my Harengon. Technically a Hex Blood. OC Henry Chester. I almost did this first battle off stream, just to get through it, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do this on stream. It's not gonna be too hard. And I'm probably not going to read the dialogue too much. So this is going to be mostly a run for mechanical stuff, like just focusing on doing battles. So we're really not going to be focusing on the story. So I'm just going to be slamming through these dialogue things unless it's quite interesting, which I'll be shocked. How is the audio, by the way? It's just some music right now in the Pokemon yelling. But if it's too loud or too quiet, let me know. Oh. Good, quiet. Okay, let me bring it up a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to bring it back to -35 because it's quiet music right now. And I'm not going to be shocked if it all of a sudden gets quite loud all of a sudden with the battle music. I'm still so sad about what happened with Sobble. It started off so good, and I was so excited. This was, like, the first game where I really got to, like, see people reacting to everything online and make, like, anticipations for what the final evolutions might look like. So I was so heartbroken when this game came out, and, like, all the final designs were not in line with what I was hoping. And, like, for people who do really liked how the designs came out, awesome. I'm very happy for that. They just didn't cater to me, sadly. I got reparations, though, in Scarlet when Meowscarada was exactly my vibe. I was still mad that it was like, God damn it, they made the cat stand up again, I swear to God, but I couldn't be too mad because it was exactly my Nights to Dreams enjoying at. But yeah. I do like Cinderace. I think it's a very cute design. It just straight up looks like someone's persona, and I feel like that is not really what I'm wanting from a Pokemon design. It's not a bad design in any means. I just don't really want that for Pokemon. I don't know. And then, God, Inteleon just looks like Vector from Despicable Me. Just its design is so strange. Okay, forget. Wooloo has something. I forget if it's got the thing. I'll find out when I hit it with the fire attack move, if I have one. I know a Wooloo can have an ability that blocks. I think it's just fire attack, but I forget. Does this do lowers the attack stat? Okay, I'll just hit Yackle. I do like the little, like, hopping motion that Cinderace, that Scorbunny does. It's very cute. He's got his little cheese on his feet. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Yay. Oh, a fun fact I want to call out, because I'm using it today. We're leveling up, we're getting our little fire move. This little, like, Christmas smock that I am wearing is a live 2D asset made by Dima the Duchess. I'd recommend checking her out on Twitch and on Ko-Fi and on Twitter. She's very lovely, very sweet, a wonderful artist. But I started watching her streams around December of last year, and she had this like she posted this asset on Twitter, and that's kind of how I found her channel, and I was inspired to really start pursuing trying out VTubing, and with the main goal of being like, I want to do VTubing anyway, something I really want to try out. But my goal last year when I found this asset was I really want to, by December of next year for Christmas season, I want to have a model that can wear this. and it like wasn't the only reason why I started VTubing. I'd been wanting to do it for a while, and I just was missing some sort of bit of motivation to really get into it. And I don't know what it was about just this little asset, but I was like, I really want to be able to wear this. I want to be able to wear this, and I want to be able to wear this properly. And it's very fun that over this past year, I've really started streaming. I've gotten a collection of like different little rigs and different models and just things for VTubing, and I feel like I've become way more comfortable with VTubing since I've started. And I've just been having a real fun time. And I'm glad that this little asset that I found that really inspired me to really start trying to pursue this ended up working out. I thought it was a very fun little piece of trivia. And I have not watched a Dima stream in a while. I really need to. She's so sweet. It's just been a hot minute. I'm really bad at watching streams. I need to more. I just am like, oh, someone's streaming. I'll pop in, and then I forget. Because I get lost doing other things that I'm working on. I'm gonna go to the research lab or whatever. My phone went off. I don't know what is happening. Let me check while I'm slamming through this dialogue. Is this... Got some reply on a YouTube video. I'll need to look at that. Let's see. I wanted to change the cutscene thing. Where are you? Skip movies on, please. Yes. If I skip... Oh no, guys! If I skip the movies, movies related to the story will be skipped. Oh man, what a tragedy. Skipping part of the movie? I can't believe this. Alright. Save. And I've turned off autosave. Oh right, we have to go to the woods. My worry is that I might mess up at some point, and Scorbunny might evolve properly, and I'll have to go back and change that. Just basically just turn off the save, turn it back on. We gotta save it. My throat is scratchy right now. I'm hoping I'm not getting sick. Yeah. But there was the comment that I need to reply to. I was watching a Swell Entertainment video today, which I recommend checking her out because she's delightful. But she got reached out to, I don't know what the studio was, but she got to go try out a mocap suit specifically geared towards people who are wanting to like do or try out 3D VTubing. And it was very cool. She got to try out this really like expensive tech for free on her stream, and it was, from what I could see from the video she put together, very nice like mocap on the body. I don't know if it was just the specific videos that I had watched, the specific videos that she showcased, but I didn't really see a ton of articulation with the hands, which I was surprised about with it was like between $30,000 and $50,000 that the whole setup was. And then on top of that, they didn't appear to have any sort of facial tracking going on, which she pointed out as being weird because she's a very like facially animated person, so not having any face tracking at all is a bit weird with her manner. But it was a very good video overall, but I was just a bit kind of like, sad is not the right word, but the way she talked about it, she is not a person who does VTubing at all. She kind of learned about the community because there are some VTubers, and I forget what the agency is called. It's not HoloLive, and it's not one that I'm super familiar with. But they invited her to like a concert that happened a few months back because they were big fans of hers. And so she got to go and meet them. But she was sort of learning VTubing through that, so she doesn't know a ton about it. And the way she talked about trying out this mocap situation, it sounded like she was talking about it through the perspective of, oh, this is something that you can do as a 3D VTuber. Like she at one point mentioned it as like this is like a potential starting point, like going to one of these studios to try it out, if you're not sure if that's something you want to do. And it's very funny to hear that, because there are so many options for programs that you can use, like just VSeeFace in general, and if you want to do mocap, there's like webcam motion capture, which doesn't sound like the name of the program, but it is, or XR Animator, that you can try completely for free online. And those are what I would say if you want to try something out. That's what I would suggest you turn to, not go to a whole studio and rent an hour for, I don't know how much it would cost, but I don't imagine it's cheap. It's just so funny to watch this video and be like, yeah, it's clear that you are not someone who really understands this space. And I'm like not saying that from a point of like she can't talk about this kind of stuff. And it's cool that she is talking about this kind of stuff, because this is like a way for people maybe interested in VTubing to kind of learn about it. But it's very funny to hear her talk about it and like know more about the space than probably she does, and be like, oh, might not be the best information or the best way to present this, because I can't even fathom using a mocap suit for 3D. God, it seems like it would be a big effort and a very expensive one, and I'm a very cheap person. Like, I am currently considering buying a new webcam for like $50-ish, with like a better frames per second and like a wider angle of view, so I can have like a better tool for the like using the 3D tracking. I can't imagine doing a mocap suit. So much. It's Big Pupper. Hot take, I think this Pokemon looks better in this form than it does in its like big glamorous form. Why did that look like it said Garfield? Oh, my knees are all sweaty. Ugh. It's not like it's even warm in my apartment. It's just gross. I think nothing even happens with this fight. I wish that they did something better with the legendaries in this game, because they're clearly trying to make them be like these cool, mysterious Pokemon. I just don't think they executed it well at all. And the fact that you have to do a really annoying, convoluted, like, post-game in order to get them, I am not happy with how this game tried to do story. Like, I tried to do the post-game, and I was so frustrated with how it was presented. Like, I hate the kind of story that they were trying to go for, with these, like, oh, these pompous celebrities are just running around causing problems for no reason, and are like, oh ho ho, we've tricked you and we just stole your shit, because we're assholes and like we think that we're entitled to shit. I was so mad, and then I got trapped in a fight because I'm not prepared to deal with steel types for the most part, and they had an Aegislash. And I was not really able to deal with that. I sat there and went, you know what? Video games are things that should make you happy and be fun, and this is not making me happy. And I believe I don't even think I knew at the time that once you got to the end of things, you would have to fight, what's his fuck? Hop, you have to fight him. And because I have shield and not sword, I would have had the shield legendary, and Hop would have had the sword one, and I have heard about the sword one. And the sword one is insane. Whatever the sacred sword or whatever, like that move is just absurd. And I wouldn't have had a good time against Hop, which was unfortunate because I crushed him the whole game. That would have been annoying. And I'm realizing my logo up there looks a little odd. Let me see if I can adjust it and make it look a little better. It's like I think I made it too small. What is wrong with it? It looks weird. It's like... It's weirdly crunchy. I'll have to look at that later, because I don't remember it being like that, and I don't know if I just have a weird version up or what. Actually, can I move it up? I forget if my chat box is separate. No, okay, I have to do that later. I think I have it like this so that the lamppost is still visible. I'll have to tweak that later. Let me do here. There we go. I want to redo my overlay at some point in the future. I just... I get torn between how I want to specifically execute it. Because I like the freedom of having the components really loose, so that if I want to do a new layout, I just have to shuffle around a couple things. And not having, like, a specific overlay. Like, the ones that are, like, there's a fixed chat box, and there's a fixed, content box. Which is what I would refer to, like, where, like, the Switch game is. I would think of that as the content box, because that's where... Why is he... What does he say? Oh, to my mom, right. Gotta talk to the MILF. But, like, there's pros and cons to having a fixed overlay versus a looser overlay like I do. And I'm not a graphic designer. I'm just not. I've just never really been supremely happy with how my backdrop looks. And I feel like I need to either commission something or chat with somebody, because I want something that's unique to me. I don't want to just have a static, generic one. But I'm not good at graphic designing, so... I have to deal with my own skills, which are... vague at best. Okay, let's save. Save my progress. I don't think I have a mystery gift available. Let me just see, though. Let's just do internet. By the way, for those playing Scarlet and Violet right now, there's two mystery gifts currently. There is one that lets you get Darkrai, I think at level 50, and then another that lets you get a shiny Lucario. No gifts. That makes sense. The game's kind of old. But yeah, if you just look online, I forget what the codes are off the top of my head. I think I'm pretty positive the one for Lucario is just Shiny Buddy, and then I think the I in Shiny is replaced with a 1. And then the one for Darkrai, I don't remember clearly. It's something like Get the New Moon or something along those lines, but you have to look it up to double check what specifically it is. I'll do a little training in the grass. But I'm really excited for the DLC. I have a squirrel that I'm going to tackle. But tomorrow evening, my plan is to do the Ghost Trick finale. If we don't get to the finale tomorrow night, I'm going to be shocked. I thought we were going to get it last week, but the game ended up taking longer than I expected. But... oh, this is stronger squirrel than I thought. But then Thursday, uh, how actually long I play for is gonna depend on other factors, because my friend Ame Rose, who, let me shout her out. She is debuting a new model, a new bunch of other stuff. Starting on the 14th, she's going to be doing a 24-hour stream, starting at 10 a.m. EST, so 7 a.m. PST, and she has a whole bunch of like stuff planned for the day. She's going to be doing a bunch of collabs, and I will be collabing with her starting like, I think it's starting 9 p.m. I think I have to double check the schedule, but it's like either midnight or 9 p.m. PST, that I'm going to be doing some stuff with her, with some collabs. So later in the evening, Thursday night. But I'm very excited, but the DLC comes out on the 14th, so don't bite me. Don't bite me, no. But yeah, the DLC is going to be coming out on the 14th. And my initial plan was just to play all day, but I do want to support Ame's stream. I have to go back and chat with Mom, because I got her... Oh, well, I can maybe push on a little bit. Do I have anything for healing? Okay. I'll go chat with Mom anyway. Screw it. I got it, Mom. But yeah, I'll probably be stopping by Ame's stream before I start streaming. And then after a bit, I'll probably break off to do some DLC stream, and then stop at some point. Because when I did the first DLC, I did that all in one go. I think it was... Well, I took a break. I think in total it was around 8 hours. I did it in one day, but it was 2 streams. I took like a break for an hour. But I think this DLC part 2 is going to be longer. If it's not longer, I'll be surprised, because it seems like there's a lot of content they're wanting to get through. And... Ooh, getting around. Let me attack this guy. But I'm expecting it to take longer, so I'm not going to try and force myself to get all the way through in one go. I definitely do not want to get burned out before I do Ame stream stuff, but it's going to be... I think the two slots I've signed up for are... What is it? It's like... It's Golf with Friends and Duck Duck, so it's not like... It's not super mentally taxing stuff, and it's going to be a collab, so I'm not going to be like hosting or anything. I'm going to quick attack you. But it'll be fun. And I'll probably Friday afternoon and Saturday do some more DLC. Just kind of keep going until it's done. The big thing is that I want to try and avoid spoilers if I can, online. Which, who knows how successful I'll be at that, but we will see when we get there. I'm incredibly excited for it, though. I'm excited that we've finally gotten to see Kieran's new design for the DLC Part 2, because I was wondering if his design would look much different. And definitely does. He's definitely in his villain art. As much as you can call a villain art for someone who's like 12. I don't know how old he's supposed to be. I'm gonna be upset if we end this DLC and he like becomes a worse person. What did you hit me with? God. But I will be sad if we end this DLC with him still being like, I'm mad and I'm angry and everyone hates me. I'm so annoyed as hell with the way that they handled his narrative in the first part of the DLC. And I get why they did it. I get what they were going for, because they're wanting to get him into a place for Part 2 DLC, for him to have this, like, what's the word for it? It's not de-characterization, but this, like, de-evolution of character, becoming a worse person, essentially. They needed to get him there for whatever narrative they're trying to tell for this Part 2. I just don't like how they handled it in the Part 1 DLC. Because very obviously to me, Carmen sucks, and people were being a bit of an ass to Kieran. And him having his, like, outburst, I can see that. It seems like just from my perspective and, like, just surface level analyzing the situation, it doesn't seem like the parents are in the picture, which could mean a lot of things. I don't think Carmen treats him very well. This bug is gonna die. And it seems like he has a lot of trouble making friends. So I can easily see how and why he may become very sensitive to that kind of stuff, and I definitely resonate with that. But I'm very frustrated that the game is like, you're very endeared to Kieran, and then all of a sudden, one thing happens, and the game forces you to essentially betray Kieran. You don't have the option to try and inform him of stuff that's going on, and you're forced to be a dick for no reason after the game lets you become so endeared to him, and I'm upset about that. And I am curious to see where things will go in Part 2. Because if I don't think that Kieran is, like, flawless. Like, he was kind of shitty at times, and he made a lot of assumptions that weren't fair. But I think everyone needs to apologize to him, because I think everyone fucked him over. I'm gonna be mad if the game is gonna try and act like he was the only one in the wrong and force him to be the only one to apologize. Because Carmen needs to do a lot of apologizing. Ah, we're so close to 10th level. I forget what level the first gym is. I feel like I'm probably fine. I know at least for this first... Oh, I'm gonna have to do story. For this first gym, I know that I won't have to overlevel, but the second gym I will have to overlevel. Charizard's approaching. Here he comes. Not nice if I play the DLC. It's fun. It's fun to have a new area. I like it, but I was very upset about how some of the narrative was handled. The character Kieran is such a sweet, like, I really like that type of character. It's like a sweet young kid who's, like, shy, but it's really funny because the game, like, implies that you're supposed to work together with these NPCs, and you have to, like, you're supposed to go to, like a certain location with these characters, and Kieran's like, okay, I'll follow behind you. He just bails immediately. And the implication is that he's, like, following you, but, like, 30 yards behind. And you don't see him in the world, so it's not actually happening. But it's really funny, the implication that he's, like, he wants to be your friend, but he's a little too shy, so he just sort of just, like, stalks you incidentally because he's too shy to hang out with you. And his design is so cute. He's just a little guy. Me DMing you TikToks. I'm so bad at like chatting with people. Like DMs. I'm so terrible at it. I'm like, I want to talk to people more. I want to chat with mutuals more. And then I'm like, I don't know what to say. It's never been a skill of mine that I've been good at all. Leon in his stupid-ass outfit. Who let Leon dress himself like that? I know he's got some sort of, like, blazer outfit. I don't know where that pops up in the game. I did not do the post-game much. And I'm assuming it's in that. Yeah, Sonia, I know everything about Pokemon there is to know. Can I leave? Yamper is such a good boy. Who's this motherfucker? Oh, no, just Power Guy. There's some instances in this game that are very strange. Okay, let's see. Hi, Hop. Alright, we are almost at the most important point of the start of this game, which is the clothing store. Once I get healed up, I'm gonna immediately run over to the clothing store and get some better threads. I want to take this hat off. Wait. Is it first time Pokemon Center? No. Okay. That Rotom thing, there's like a thing that the Rotom can do that you like send your Pokemon off and they like do tasks for you. I think I played around with it like once or twice with my main game and I just didn't follow up with it because I did not really understand what was going on. It was let's see. Do I have any revivals? Because if I do, I want to sell them because they're not going to be useful for me. I'll keep the Pokeballs because I know there's a gym challenge at some point where I have to catch Pokemon. And I'll catch Pokemon there just simply because I have to. But let's get some clothing. Shopping done. What is this? Do I have these already? Let me get this hat off. Remove. Yeah. I don't want to kill these glasses. I'm always a fan of the gloves. No, I do like the pants. What is this? Yeah, alright, let's go chat with the main lady. Only loose tops? I don't like these. I don't like these. Let's see. Ooh. I also don't like how these fit. Good, a hoodie. Okay. Alright, let's see what works best. Kind of like this green. Not quite that purple. I like this pink sometimes. I don't think that level of saturation is great with this hoodie, though. Ooh, tan or green? Do we go with a tan hoodie or do we do it with this green hoodie? I think the tan is a little too close to the... Yeah, green. And the tan is a little too close with the hair color. Okay, pants. I think I'll probably stick with the jeans that I have because I like the texturing on them. What shoes do I have? What are my shoes, actually? What the hell am I wearing? I only have loafers right now? I think I'll just stick with my current shoes. Let me see socks, though. We'll go with these low-cut socks for now, these little ankle ones. That's a weird looking backpack. Galley hat. Wait a minute. I'm not mad about that, but I just don't like the shape of it. It's very odd. I love a white glove, though. Let's do the white glove. Yeah. I think I'll stick with the undercoat, because I kind of like that, like, the layer, the collar, like that. Something I've been chronically sad about with this game is the fact that you can't really customize your, like, your uniform look. And I get why it's a uniform. Okay. Gym challenge, yada yada yada. Like, there's a level of standardization that does make sense to have with the uniform when you're competing. I wish you could... I wish you could change it up a bit, especially because you get to buy uniforms from the different coliseums. I'm just surprised that they don't let you do that. They don't let you wear some of them in the competitions. The amount they used to fuck with and alter my uniform to be in the rules while it's cool. Yeah, yeah. It's a classic part of having to wear a uniform is figuring out ways to kind of get around the uniform policies. Oh, this would be interesting. This is the first time I've gotten to this point in the game without catching a Pokemon. I think this is the first time I'm going to be forced to watch the catching tutorial. Yeah. Every time I've played this game, I've caught a Pokemon before getting to this point. And so Leon would just be like, "Oh, you caught a Pokemon. Okay, I don't have to tell you anything." he just goes. He fucks out, and I wish they did that for like Scarlet and Violet, because they also force you to have to watch a catching tutorial. And I don't know why. I'm assuming they're being like, "Oh, well, it's different because it's open world." Oh, it's like, okay, whatever, calm down. My brain is melting. Oh no, why? Is it that commission you're working on with the billion layers? Yeah, I figured that. I can't imagine how many layers that took to do that, just the line art. That reminds me, I'm putting off working on my Satan piece. I've gotten the line art done, but the rendering I still need to do. Only 67 so far. Okay, that's not as bad as it could be, but that's still, yeah, that's still hurts. How powerful is Hop gonna be? I should probably... I'll just run. Right, trainers. I have to deal with these pricks. Get some fruit snacks. I like the youngster design in this game. I think it's very much... encapsulates the itty-bitty boy vibe very well. He's got that like floofy hair that I think is very adorable. Squovat. I think just an Ember would be good enough. I think as hard as I would expect. Let me try out a quick attack. I don't know. Forget. What is it? It is special. Forget what Cinderace is good at. I haven't had the option to really do anything else. Yeah, this is physical. Let me see what... Yeah, that did about as much damage as a stab move, so I think I'll just stick with that for right now. Yeah, and we got more PP too. Ooh. I'm actually Google. I don't know what the stat spread is. Really, we're so close to leveling up. Oh, Pokemon. Scorbunny. Look at his little face. Poor little guy. Okay. Okay, yeah. Scorbunny is like almost double attack stat over special attack, so that's going to be something to keep in mind in the future. I'm looking at moves. It's got high attack and it's got high speed. So he's fast and he gets like a truck. It is very easy to avoid fighting on this route. Hi, lass. I'm very excited in the Scarlet Violet Part 2 DLC for the new clothing coming. Because I don't know if I heard that this was confirmed or this was just speculated, but it was thought that the Blueberry Academy, they'll have like their own set of uniform, and it's speculated that we'll get 4 new outfits, 1 version of a uniform per season, like we've been getting from just the base game. So I'm excited to see what those will look like. I'm assuming they'll be blue and white, because those are the colors we've been seeing. I also don't know why I clicked tackle. That was a weird brain fart. How many Pokemon you got after this? Okay, only Choodle. Because I need to heal. Oh, poor little guy. Yes, 10th level. Okay, let's heal up a little bit. Yeah. Forget what level you. Alright, we got one more fight. Forget when we level up. I'm going to start being prepared to start mashing B when we get to the wrong point. I know some people complain and are like, oh, it's not that hard. I'm so glad that Pokemon started doing the thing where if you fought a Pokemon before, when you go to select moves, it will tell you the effectiveness level of the move. I'm so happy they started doing that, because I'm not good at remembering all that information. Like, I remember a good portion of the type chart, I think, but I'm not great at remembering all of it. And them just being like, yep, super effective, non-effective, yada yada. It's so helpful. Especially when I forget. Especially for moves that are not effective. Because that is not great when you do not remember those things. Then you see that it doesn't. I think it's like, it's either Psychic against Dark or Dark against Psychic. I think it's Psychic against Dark. But the fact that they don't have an interaction, like, I don't think Psychic moves work against Dark-type Pokemon, which is something you might not realize. And so I'm glad that that's a thing that they tell you right off the bat. I think I'm good to fight Hop now. Let's see, though. Hi, Magnolia. I don't remember if this is the case, but I think this was the first game where the professor really doesn't play much of a part in the narrative. Like, we have... Sonia is the professor. I think she was the first instance within a Pokemon narrative where they started to branch away from the professor really taking it like a part in the narrative. So now that I think about it, I really don't remember what Birch does in like Emerald, like Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire. I forgot the name of it was for a second. I know like you get the Pokemon from him, and he's researching like Pokemon habitats. But other than that, I don't remember he pops up much in the narrative after that. So maybe Magnolia not playing much of a part isn't really a new thing. It's more of just a drifting away in the trend of the past few games. Here. Where am I going? Ooh, it's a beautiful light outside. We got a battle. Did I save before approaching? Probably. Let's fight, baby. I think I'm good. I think level 10 should be fine. We'll get to figure out what the deal is with his Wooloo, because I don't remember if it's got the ability that blunts certain types of damage. You do got good music, as much as people don't like this kid. Oh, level 6, yeah, we're fine. Let me just see what happens. Let me test. Nope, it does not have whatever the ability is that burns it. Like, I know they can have an ability, it's called like Puff Wool or something, where it becomes like resistant to like, it's either fire or it's like, it's something, it becomes resistant to a type it normally isn't. I don't remember what it is, but it seems like Hop does not have that ability on his Wooloo. Let's look at the other one. Oh, it lived! It is a special attack, which is not what I'm good at. Oh, monkey. Let me just quick attack it. Way to go, Henry Chester! My baby! They really want to have voice acting in these games. I don't know why they don't yet. It's so weird. I wonder if in... Obviously, they're not going to do it in, like, this next DLC, because that would be very strange for them to do both the game and the first DLC with no voice acting, and then pivot last second to having voice acting. I wonder if in the next generation, though, if they'll try and do it. Because we've got the Detective Pikachu game that came out that was fully voice acted. So they clearly... I don't know if Game Freak actually did technically is a thing. Like, it's obviously under the Nintendo umbrella. I don't know who put it together. Honestly, I feel not shameful, but I feel silly. I never remember what the relationship is between Game Freak and Nintendo and Pokemon overall. Because whenever I think of Pokemon, I think of Nintendo, and then Game Freak is just in there somewhere. I don't really remember like what the relationship is between the two. My assumption is Game Freak makes it, and then Nintendo is just like the host of it. But they just seem so like entangled with one another that I don't remember what the difference is between the two in terms of Pokemon specifically. Holy shit, a meteor. I hope it doesn't shoot somebody. Hope no one gets shot by a meteor. Yeah. If you did not watch the most recent Ghost Trick stream, a man apparently got shot by a meteor. In the most absurd way. Literally divine act of God. And then a cop tried to take credit for it. It's so unhinged. We can Dynamax now. How cool. My little bunny is gonna be a big bunny. I'm curious how I'm gonna do with this water gem. Because obviously I'm gonna have to overlevel. Because remaining my current level is not gonna... Remaining the correct quote-unquote level is just not gonna work. But maybe Dynamaxing will help me get through it. The big thing is, and I don't know if I will need to Dynamax at the beginning just to get through it, or if I'll have to save it for the end with whatever the last Pokemon is that I'll Dynamax. I may have to heal stall, though, to burn through its Dynamax. I imagine what'll work, probably, is I'll probably overlevel by, like, 5 or so levels, and then get through the normal fights, and then when the other Pokemon Dynamaxes, I'll probably start to heal stall until they run out, and then I will Dynamax just to get through it. Or I'll Dynamax in the beginning, and then heal stall when I have to. I think that makes sense, yeah, because if I Dynamax initially, then I can get through as much as I can. And I don't remember in this game if they do healing. I hope they don't. Because that's just annoying when you're, like, almost done killing something and then it heals up completely. I'm really glad in Scarlet and Violet that they didn't bother with giving the trainers healing items, because that was so annoying. And I know it makes it harder. I just don't care. Thank you, Hop, for telling me how grass works. Oh, it's the Yamper! Baby! Is there an item over here? No, okay. Let me just fight you, you're just hanging out. I can't remember what the level is for the grass gym. I need to look that up before I get too far. Because I don't want to run in under-leveled, because that would be bad. Also, I'm not on my activities screen. Here we go. Fight! Oh, I'm paralyzed. It's bad. Let me Google this while this fight is happening. Pokemon. Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon. Fight. Dab. What is it called? Shield. Gym levels. We're not gonna talk about how I spelled Pokemon on my phone just now. But let's just say it wasn't correct. But it did get me what I was looking for. Level 9. Oh. Oh, right. The gyms start really late. For whatever reason. Okay, so level 19 and 20 is what we're going to be dealing with. So, I think there's a ways to go before I get there. So I can probably just kind of keep going normally. And then level up when I need to. Because I don't want to just over-level and just get through this by just hitting things straight on the head when I don't need to. Oh. I'm so paralyzed. Fuck. I will need to heal when I get back to town. I'm also extremely hungry right now, which I ate this morning. That might have been it. That's probably why I'm hungry, is I've barely eaten today. That would explain a lot. Yes, we're gonna move. Double kick is basically 60 power. I got to try... I've never tried before. I got to try Raisin Canes last night. I was up in the city, just checking out the Christmas stuff they had up. And, ooh, oh, I love you, Zigzagoon. I didn't use one of these guys in my playthrough, and I kind of wish I had. But I was up in town, and I meant to go to this ramen shop. And as I was, like, heading in that direction, I think fighting is good against Dark. Ah, crap. I want to pay attention. I forget what the type interaction is. Henry Chester! Come on. Am I gonna have to run from this fight? This is dreadful luck. Oh, come on. This defense? Ugh. Okay, thank God. That could have been really bad if I did not bail out at the right time. But as I was saying, I was intending to go to this little ramen shop, and I got sidetracked because I was trying to take a shortcut. Well, wasn't really taking a shortcut. I was taking an alternate path because I wanted to check out this building I was walking past because it looked like an interesting collection of shops I just was curious to see. Hello? Oh, thank you, Ram. And I wanted to kind of see what was inside. And I saw that there was a food court, and I was like, let's pass by it. Let's see if there's something more interesting than a ramen shop that I've been to before. And there was a Raisin Cane's. And I did not realize that. I'd heard about Raisin Cane's before. I've never had it. And I got to try it. And it was okay. I think I like Popeyes more. The cane sauce that I have heard so much about was good. It wasn't anything like insane like I was expecting it to be. It was a very peppery sauce, which I wasn't expecting. It felt like the flavor was pepper, but with a bit more complexity to it. I couldn't quite pinpoint what everything was, but there was definitely an umami to it. It's a mayo based sauce. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a Worcestershire in it. Not a ton, but enough to like bring a little bit of a savoriness to it on top of the mayo and the pepper. Oh, that TM's gonna be good. Let's go to our train. But they ran out of coleslaw when I got there, which I was happy about because I'm not a big coleslaw fan. I made the mistake though of requesting Texas toast to replace the coleslaw as opposed to the French fries. The Texas toast was not amazing in terms of my preferences of little treats. Okay, let's see. This TM. Let's use this on Henry, and we will boot it up. Let's see. 60. Oh, it's special. Let's replace Growl, just to have it. Just to have an option. Got my Swift. Maybe I should look at Henry's stats. Let's see. I can't really look at your... Is blue good or bad? What is your type? You have a sassy type. Let me see what that means. Oh god, yeah, the attack is nearly double the special attack. That explains a lot. Let me see what a sassy nature means. Pokemon... Sassy nature. If it's a speed boost, that's great. I don't think that's what's going on, though. Oh, Christ alive. Oh, man. I should have checked this. Oh, I should have checked this. Oh, man. Because this is speed... This is bringing down my speed. I should have checked before I... If I had realized this was my... This was the nature I had, I would have reset. I would have reset and rolled for a better nature. At the very least, it gives me a bit of extra bulk where I wasn't having it before. Alright. This is not the end of the world, but this does suck a little bit. Is there something I can pick up over here? No. It's fine. Oh, Hop's mom followed us. God, the unblinking stare on our character's mom is very scary. Thanks for the camping gear. I'm not going to use it much. Did I heal? Yeah, I did. Mimi didn't like my singing. She's pouting. Alright, wild area. We're stuck because of some Wooloo. I love button mashing. I love that it just gets me through these. It's so funny that the... You have something for me, don't you? Pokédoll. Thank you. Oh, that'll be nice. It as stupid as it is that the Pokemon games, they present you with like alternate text, but it never really gives you alternate options. It's just like it's like when the dialogue options are yes exclamation point and yes period. That's what Pokemon dialogue options are. There's no character. You don't have a choice. It's the illusion of choice. That is like, honestly, at this point, I wish Pokemon would just kind of like stop with that. It's very annoying. They're trying to make it feel more interactive, and there's really no point to it. Sounds rough. Like, you don't have to pay attention. You're not hurting people's feelings, and if you do, they're gonna force you to pick a different option. Like with like in Scarlet, when you there's a point with Nimona where she asks you if you want to do a battle, and if you say no, she just is like, "Sorry, I didn't hear you right. Did you want to do a battle?" And you can say no all you like, and she'll just ignore you until you say yes, and then she'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to do a battle with you." It's like, it's just, I'm tired of the lack of just options. The Game Freak has so much money and so many resources. I wish that they would put more into their narratives. And like, they don't make bad games, but they should be making better games at this point. With how much money they have and how much of a community is around everything. It's just tiring. Okay. I think I'm just gonna run to the... Well, I want to get some berries. A note? Oh. Let me shake this berry tree. I think I can do another shake. Yeah. Do another shake. Okay, now we're done. There's like a trick that I learned where, based on how much the tree is shaking after you interact with it, is like a good indicator of how many shakes you have left until a Pokemon's gonna jump out at you. I gained some stuff. Can I touch it? Oh, there's just nothing in it. Okay. Oh! Hello, friend! And if you get very gentle shakes from a berry tree, after you shake it, there's not going to be a Pokemon in the next one. But if you get, like, pretty consistent shakes after it, that typically means that the Pokemon's going to jump out next. So, that's what I was looking for there. My phone's shaking. Oh, it's my mom. I will reply to her later. Just punch it again, or kick it. It would be really funny if Double Kick gained additional, like, usages when using it, if the Pokemon using it had more feet. I think that'd be very funny. It's like, if you're caught up using Phalix, and you did Double Kick, and it kicked 10 times. That would be absurd. What the hell was that? I think there's something behind me. Puppy! It got very quiet. A note. Why is it so quiet? Hello? Hello? Anybody want to make noise? I feel like I'm hearing something right behind me. What is that? Oh, Tyrogue. Loser boy. Fringe man. Let's see. Fighting's gonna be fine. Swift. I think Double Kick is my best option right now because it's 60 power and it's physical. So even though I'm not getting stab, I'm still getting more out of it than something like Ember right now, which is it's just not useful right now. I need to get a fire move that is physical to actually really utilize my abilities. I'm probably gonna have to rely a lot on TMs because I don't think I'm gonna be able to have the breadth of moves that I want to with not evolving. Is there an occupied den around here? I feel like I saw something. Got a big boy over there. I'll interact with it just for the hell of it. Just for fun. I don't think I have a fishing pole yet, do I? I do! This may have been a bad decision. But let's see. Ah, classic. Time to punch the fish. I remember when I first played this game, I spent a long time in the wild area before I left, and that is not going to be today. Whenever I play games like this where they have a very constricted first part of the game, and then they just plop you into a big open area, I remember when I first played Dragon Age Inquisition, and I'd never played a game like that before. So I was under the impression that when you get dropped into an area like that, you are expected to, like, kind of keep going until the game says that, like, you're done or you finish it. So I was just going. And I think I was in the hinterlands, I forget what it's called. I think for 13 hours, I was just in that area doing things. Not at all aware of the fact that I was able to and expected to leave probably pretty soon after I got there. And so it was very funny to, like, really, like, chart my way through that area and then find out, like, no, I can just leave. You just walk up to this one gate and just kind of go. Hi, is this Purloin? Yeah. I don't like this thing standing. It's uncomfortable. I'll just double kick it and be done. Not my attack. Oh, it's a higher level than me. Ah. That's bad. Oh, no, it's the same level. Why would you use Fake Out in your second turn, buddy? Silly cat. Alright, level 13, let's go. Speaking of my mom texting me, I need to chat with her more specifically about what the plans are currently for our family doing Christmas this year, because I think I'm going to be heading over to their place for like a week or so when my sister comes into town. Let's see. Max raids. What is this? I guess let's just do a thing. Let's try it out. Let's have some fun. But I'm kind of getting to a weird point with the food I have in my fridge where I'm out of vegetables and whatnot, and I'm unsure if I want to like get more groceries right now or not. 'Cause I haven't done a grocery run since the end of November, so it's been a hot minute since I've really gotten groceries. Can I Dynamax? Oh. But I will probably want to do soon, because there's a couple things I want to get. I'm out of a few, like, stock items. Eggs, one of them. I just ran out of peanut butter today, which I use a fair bit. Oh. I need to figure things out so I can stock up. Oh, poor fucking Quillfish. Did it have sturdy? Oh, it had a focus sash. Thank God, honestly. Oh man, my special defense. Only did part of it. That surprises me. Ooh. Jesus, that poison jab. Jesus, what are the level of these guys? I'm apparently much weaker than everybody. Nah, I'm not gonna catch it. Goodbye, Nickit. I'm definitely gonna be utilizing these candies. So I don't have to grind later. I don't have to. Just the grinding, it's not interesting. It's not fun. It's boring. I don't really enjoy grinding in Pokemon, especially if I don't need to, so I'll definitely be utilizing these candies. Without... yeah, let's go. It's like when people do Nuzlocks and they just use candies instead of having to fight against wild Pokemon. That's a very smart thing that people decide to do. Didn't it make a sound? Okay. Max Flare. Is this a physical move? No, it's special. What is Max Strike? Yeah, let's do that. Nothing I have is going to be super effective anyway. The sad thing about... well, I guess with the starter Pokemon, they're typically not starting off a dual type, but the fact that Scorbunny is not a dual type means Fire is the only thing I will be getting Stab, which severely limits my options in terms of what I can really do. And I think it's only the later, it might be Scorbunny too, but I think it's only Cinderace that can get Protein or whatever that was all it did. That's awful. Okay. Who are you hitting? Dear God. But if I could get Protein on Cinderace, that would be incredibly useful. I don't think I can, but I would have to do some research to figure that out. So it seems like Max Strike didn't really do much, so I'm gonna see... let's just see what Max Knuckle does, just for the heck of it. Oh, it's Flying type, I'm stupid. I can't punch a bird. This will at least bring up our attack, so that'll be good. It's gonna do nothing. Okay, why did that do a lot? That doesn't make sense. It did more than my Max Strike did. Oh, Max Strike is special, that's why. That makes sense. Okay. More fish. Yeah, it is special. That was dumb of me. Let's do regular Max Strike. Let's see how that goes. Why? Why? I'm not realizing a Salazzle this early on is a lot. There we go. That's what I was expecting. Alright, let's go. Not what I meant. Don't catch this. We don't want it. God, after doing raids in Scarlet and Violet, and then doing these raids again, God, I miss these kinds of raids. Oh, another note. Yeah. I get kind of what they were wanting to do with letting the raids be more loose in Scarlet and Violet. It is so frustrating, though, when you are fighting against a Pokemon, and it does 5 moves in a row, and you, like, clicked on a thing, like you're like, oh, I want to do, let's do a Swift. And you click it, and then you click on the target, and then the enemy Pokemon does like 5 things in a row, and then it gets back to you, and somehow the game bugged out and just completely skipped over your turn, and it's like, all right, what move do you want to do? And then you're sitting there like, I didn't get to do my thing though. You skipped me, and now you're gonna let this guy over here do 8 more moves before I get to go. It's so frustrating. I it's one thing with the raids in this game where they're just very powerful Pokemon, but you have the structure there. You can anticipate things better. You can't anticipate what's going on with the raids in Scarlet and Violet because it's like, is it a Wi-Fi issue? Is it a connection issue? Who's going when? What's happening when? It's so hard to follow what's happening. Camping King, whatever. Who gives me my bike? Oh, crap. Sure. No thanks. This guy gives me the bike? Surf, no. Crunch is a good move. I don't know if Henry... I'll have to look up what he can do. What... Yeah. Yeah. So nothing yet. Let's save. I think I already saved, but I'm gonna do it again. We're gonna end this game... Well, we're not ending it with 1 Pokedex, because I have to catch some people in the fire gym, I think. Yeah. I see Sonia. I remember there was something I was trying to find in the city when I was here. I don't remember where it was. But I remember it taking... I remember searching a long time in the city to try and find something just on my own. And I think I gave up and looked it up on Google, and it was in a very stupid spot. Oh yeah, the trainer cards. It cracks me up that she gives me Leon's card and, like, not her own. I thought I fought somebody before entering the city, but I might be mixing up a different encounter. I have so many notifications. I need to go through them at some point. By the way, I see for Pokemon. I don't want to go to the station. I don't need to have in-game advertisements for the damn DLC. Card code. Hey. I'm here for the gym challenge. Yay. My goal is to go to that clothing store over there. And, I want to look good. I want to look snazzy. And I think I see a barbershop. Why are these cutscenes so slow? Let me in. Let's start with the... I guess we'll start with the makeup, because we can work the hair around that. Forget if the contacts. Alright, let's see. I kind of like this gold. It's very intense. Brown is good, though. Everything is happening above you. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I don't think you can. It's very loud. I do like these stars. The stars are fun. I'm torn between this brown and this yellow. I kind of like how intense the yellow is. But I do like the warmth of the brown. I'll do yellow unless someone suggests otherwise. I think they call those thin eyebrows. They're just short. Let's do like a darker brown. I don't know how dark I want to do this hair. I kind of want to keep it on a lighter tone, but we'll see when I get into the hair options. I do like a reddish brown. There is only red. I don't know why the Pokemon options are never good at giving nuances with browns. If I do this ash brown and I do darken my hair, I think that'll be good. Look at the... I'm normally a fan of a thicker hair, but I think I'll do thin. Yeah, let's do that. Look at one time what these eye colors look like. Yeah, let's go with that. Oh, wait, let me confirm with Y. This poor child's getting his eyebrows plucked. Alright, now let's do the hair. No. Huh. I don't mind that. I'm not realizing I feel foolish because I forgot that the hair is not on your damn head when you're doing this. Like that kind of defeats the point of me doing the eyes and eyebrows first. I'm torn between medium and wavy and long hair. I think the long hair is a little more emo than what I'm wanting. I'm gonna go with the medium and wavy. Now we've got to choose the color. Oh, God. I wish we could see this on the head. The pink is very cute. I'm torn between this caramel blonde and the gold. I'm like trying to imagine what it looks like on this guy. I'll do caramel blonde so it's a bit of an offset on the eye. And then confirm. Fingers crossed it looks good. That's cute! I like that. That's cute. Alright, let me save. Yeah, I'll save. And let's look at the face again. See what the eyebrows look like. Oh, we need to have I think we need to have the thicker ones so we can actually see the eyebrows a bit better. Now let's see. I think that color is good with the eyebrows. I want this yellow to work. I feel like they're just kind of too much. It's like it's hitting Uncanny Valley, basically. Yeah, I think we have to do this. I wanted that gold to work so bad. I just don't think it will. For my preferences. Yeah, look at Prince. He's so pretty. He's a handsome young man. Alright, let's get out of here, buckaroo. And now for step 2. Clothing. It's still so dumb that they don't let you wear the dresses on the male body. Ooh. We get polo options! I think I'll probably stick with the pink that I have, though. Let's see. More hoodie options. We got a varsity jacket. I use this varsity jacket in my main game a lot. It's a very good jacket. I don't like these options, though. I don't want to do the same jacket, because I did the same jacket previously. I'm not mad at these plaids. I think I'm good with the pants I have currently, unless I find a different top that I want to do. I like this base. I don't think it's not that bad. I'm torn between changing the undershirt. I like the shoes. I think they're good. Do I have one with a brown bottom? I don't. Okay. Can I not wear this with my hair? We're not changing the glasses. Nah. Let's see what options I have glove-wise. No, I think we'll keep it. I'm gonna look at the pants again. I feel like that meme where the guy's got really insane, like, a really insane outfit while golfing. It's like an old man, he's smoking. That's what these plaid pants are making me think of. I don't think I want to change the pants. I like the asymmetry with the puff on the knee. Oh, I'm wearing a red shirt. That's why I'm like, I don't know what's different. I think I'll keep it for now, because it's not enough of a difference for me to pay $6,000, I don't think. Yeah, 70, that's a lot of money. Ooh, I like the hint of plaid at the ankle. Let's see. That's fun. Let's do that. Yes, I'm on them chapping. Okay, I'm gonna block out. Speed is important. It is. I wish my speed was better. I made a mistake not checking that speed. It's gonna cost me. I feel like I did. back end of this. I think I'm gonna wrap up though. I got hit with a weird wave of like fatigue. And I'm gonna take that as a sign of maybe I should wrap up for now. I have a busy day tomorrow. I've got an interview tomorrow for something that could be very nice. So I want to be prepared for that. So I'm gonna wrap up now. Let me go to my chat screen. Hello? Do you want to work? What is happening? My Steam Deck isn't working. Hello? What's going on? Yes, not 1 second. My stream book is not responding. I don't want to figure out what's going on. I'll have to do that after stream. Let me get to the chat screen. What is happening with this thing? Just close the program. Kill it. Oh, I'm so little. I'm a little guy. What is happening? We'll have to look at that later, because that died midstream. Let me see who's streaming currently. Ophelia is streaming. Kitty's streaming! I forgot that they said they were gonna be back today. I didn't realize that it's gonna be right now. Let's jump over there. Let's jump over to Kit. Make sure I spell Kit's name right. It's got an underscore. Alright. Y'all be nice. Y'all be sweet. Here is the raid message for everybody who wants to join over in raid. The emotes are... My color's changed. I have to fix that later. They're available for all followers, so as long as you're following me, you should be able to use these. But thank you again for everybody who stopped by today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow at the Ghost Trick finale stream. But I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Alright, now I have to click the buttons on the screen to get to my screen. Alright. Bye.